Quiet Quitting and the Anti-Work Movement, a creativity perspective as to what it's all about. At the time of this recording, in August 2022, it came to my attention there has been a flurry of activity and interest around two phenomena that have come to be called quiet quitting and the anti-work movement. According to what I understand from the media, it is very prevalent with individuals born after 1989. The bottom line is that many of the generation after 1989, including many individuals born before 1989, no longer have what you would call the traditional work ethic. That is, you give your life to the job and do whatever it takes with an embedded implication that you seek a stable career and its associated advancement. It is reported that many employers are now complaining about this lack of work ethic and that many of these individuals are just doing the minimum as to what is required. One report suggests that the issue is so large it quoted a Chinese report that the U.S. has become incompetent and lazy in relation to this issue. Currently, owning a business and talking to many business people, yes, there's a shift in attitude by many involving work. However, having spent much of my professional life over the past 50 years seeking to get individuals to perform in the workplace in a variety of occupations, I find there's something else that's occurring that is totally unrecognized and that I suggest be considered when talking about these phenomena. A typical response to these phenomena from many older individuals is that employee dissatisfaction with work and complaints as to how employees are treated has been around a long time. Individuals has always found ways to do the minimum required to get by and not annoy their boss or supervisor, so their paycheck is unaffected. Many seek escape from boredom of the workplace through their hobbies and pastime interest. As for dissatisfaction with their situation, most have been taught to suck it up and get on with the job. Some would say that the younger generation in the United States, having been raised with more options and privileges than most have experienced in the world, they are just unwilling to devote their life to a job that is unfulfilling. They're spoiled. They simply refusing to suck it up. But this is an extremely shallow perspective as to what is really happening. There has been a change in the world. Whether we realize it or not, the response to COVID and the need to stay at home and limit social activities have surfaced a change in perception as to what is important in life. Each, in our own way, we have all come to look at life a little differently. Many have begun to wonder about their options in life. But the real issue goes well beyond COVID. COVID is just helping to bring it closer to the surface. Over 30 years ago, mid-career as a manager, I was faced with much more subtle forms of quiet quitting and the anti-work ethic in the workplace. In response, I began to study creativity as a manager, trying to get individuals to break out of such attitudes to become more productive in the workplace, more aware of hazards to improve safety, and more creative in how to do their work. What I found in the exploration of our creativity was totally unexpected. It caused me to become one of those individuals to walk away from the proverbial corporate world, not because I was dissatisfied with the work I was doing, rather because of the importance of what I found. Why I walked away, I feel, is what underlines the current problem being faced in the phenomena of quiet quitting and the anti-work ethic. But what underlies this current problem is also very much related to our health and well-being as an individual, for it directly related to our creative power to create health, a less stressful life, and is what underlines many addictions. You can believe or discard what I have to say here, but if you do your own experiments, you'll come to see the truth of what is said. In my exploration of creativity, I came to understand within each person is what can be called a creative spirit, and it is expressed in a heartfelt passion. Although not recognized the first time I saw it for what it is, I eventually came to understand it. I have always worked with some individuals who seem to be passionate about their job. And I use the word seem passionate, but I stumbled upon something that changed my understanding about passion. I was in the non-radioactive machinery spaces for a nuclear power plant with a particular individual. I saw within this individual with whom I was with a profound and very unusual passion for machinery. It reminded me of what I saw in many mothers and the love they had caring for their newborn child. Having been around many individuals working with machinery, this individual was exceptionally awe-inspiring. This individual made me begin to contemplate, how do we access and instill such a passion for what one does, especially in the workplace and in life itself? Over time, I came to understand how to do it. What I came to understand is there exists in every person what I came to call a creative spirit, which is expressed as a deep, heartfelt passion. It is a spirit in the sense that it is the seat of our awareness and is ultimately the source of our life. This creative spirit within each of us is here in physical creation within a human body to create and experience certain types and kinds of experiences. If we do not live what this creative spirit seeks to create in some way, the individual will find life unfulfilling. They will feel something in life is missing. They may even feel lifeless. But the individual is puzzled as to what it is that's missing. Many feel a longing for something, but they do not really know what it is or how to fully describe it. When this heartfelt passion is consciously realized and the individual cannot live it for whatever reason, it is like a drowning person grasping for air. The drowning person knows that if they cannot get air, they will drown. When this creative passion is consciously realized and cannot be lived, the person knows a part of them will die. But most are unaware of the existence of this creative spirit and their own heartfelt passion. They just feel something in life is missing, if not painful. There is a longing for something, but the individual does not know what it is. This longing can be painful to the extent the individual does something to mask the pain they feel. Most individuals in the past have learned and have been conditioned to suppress it and live in a less passionate life and do whatever is required to supply the food, the livelihood, whatever they need for life at the expense of their own being. In the past, individuals sought to find fulfillment and expression in their passion in whatever way they could outside of work. Work has traditionally not been a place to express one's heartfelt passion. It was a place to do the assigned job and nothing more. It is now the younger generation is more aware of this feeling inside of them, and they are looking for other options. Quite simply, the workplace does not fulfill their passion. But it is this passion which will give humanity the solutions we seek, and it is vital for the workplace. When this creative spirit is accessed, there is a great and profound passion and a willingness to act. It is not about people being unwilling to work. Rather, it's about not being able to express and live their creative passion and do work that serves them. Here I need to emphasize that this passion is creative, heartfelt, and arising from the heart and not the mind. When we act from the heart, in line with our creative passion, there is a lasting feeling we get that is best described as an inner satisfaction about ourselves and about life. It does not matter what anyone else thinks about what we create or do, for we have this inner feeling that is extremely, if not profoundly, satisfying. When we act from the mind, we may seem as extremely passionate, but there is no lasting feeling of inner satisfaction. Whatever feeling of success we get, it evaporates and we look to the next thrill, the next adrenaline rush, or whatever you wish to call it. The heartfelt passion is not an adrenaline rush. It is much more profound experience. When one is in touch with their heartfelt passion, they will do whatever it takes. As a manager, I look to actively align tasks which led in the direction of the heartfelt passion of the workers where I could. If I had any worker who was really dissatisfied with their job, I would actively look to see where they could be placed elsewhere and something more in line with their passion. I know that when a person is in their passion, they will make few mistakes. The individual who is there only to collect a paycheck will be where the biggest problems lie. The question was, how do the problems reveal themselves as a result of the inattentive worker? In line with what I learned about our creativity and this creative spirit, I created 2 exercises to help individuals get in touch with their creative passion. Both exercises are posted on YouTube. Both are found under RYUC and Beyond. One is the discerning personal truth exercise. We all know what is true for us and what serves us, and we can feel it. We need to become aware of that feeling and do what aligns with our truth. The second exercise is the calibrating your internal compass. We each have a compass within that can guide us to what we find fulfilling in life and provide an inner satisfaction. We only need to get in touch with this inner compass and follow it. The key is what in life gives an inner feeling of satisfaction that never runs dry. The only problem with these exercises is they require us to be open to feeling and what we feel. Unfortunately, many experienced pain in the past when they tried to live their passion. As a result, many have shut down their ability to feel what is true for them and what serves them and gives them a feeling of inner satisfaction. The individual feels the longing. They know what they're doing in life is not fulfilling, but they do not know where to look to find that fulfillment. So they look outward into the world, looking for that thing, that person, those activities that will fulfill this passion. Our challenge is an inward journey. It is inward to understand why we are not finding fulfillment externally, to see what our passion really is. It is to look inward and understand what is masking us living our passion, then explore why there is pain and what is giving rise to the pain that we mask that prevents us from living our heartfelt passion. In the past, we were taught to suppress our longing and our passion. We were taught to suck it up and get on with the job, get on with life. Yet sometimes it is the job itself and what we are asked to suppress within ourselves for the sake of the job. The impact of COVID has yet to be fully understood. In keeping people confined at home with the threat of potential illness and even death, society as a whole began to reflect about life and the life they were living before COVID. COVID caused many to reassess how they were living their life. Many have chosen not to return to the pre-COVID days and are looking for alternative ways to live their life. Old ways of thinking have been and are being challenged, including what one does in their life relative to their job. The world is changing. People, especially the younger generation, are opening up to the fact there's more to life than a job that suppresses our creative passion. They are simply looking to find fulfillment in life. Unfortunately, they, as most of us, do not know where to look for what they seek, for it has been very effectively suppressed in most individuals throughout history, and we pass that suppression on generation after generation. The reason for society suppressing this creative passion is quite simple. The creative passion that arises from this creative spirit cannot be controlled by the mind. Rather, the mind needs to learn how to work with it. But the effort takes time. Rather than take the time, society has developed a multitude of ways to suppress it to get individuals to do what those in authority want the individuals to do. So what is quiet quitting all about? It's about people becoming aware they have a longing to do specific things in this life that give them an inner satisfaction. But the answer is not found externally in any job or what we do in life. It is found by first looking within as to what really makes us feel life is worth living, and then doing something in the world which aligns with our personal truth as to what makes life worth living. And sometimes it is to follow the left-hand path, not opposed to society or our families, just different like the right hand and left hands. It appears more people will have to learn to work with southpaws, those who seek to live life a little more in line with their creative passion, a little different than what society wants or expects. The challenge for all of us is to learn to dance. It's to dance with what our creative spirit wishes to create and yet give the world what it expects of us in a way that both are constructively served. Thank you for listening.